Long way, get this shit a long way, this shit a long way. Long way, hit the long way, 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 shit, long way, long shit, long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, shit a long way. Gotta get the shot, get the shit a long way, get the shot, get the shot, get the shit a long way, rich, yeah. Gotta get the shit a long way, get the shot, know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta get a meal, but she don't understand, man. She be trippin' every day, she be trippin' every way, but I gotta get this shit a long way, gotta get this shit a long way. Tryna get money every single way, tryna get money every single day, get money every single way, every day. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. I'm feeling like we be the new slaves, yeah. No, we gotta finish rich, no, we gotta finish rich. Got a new bitch, she don't understand, she don't understand, niggas gotta get rich. She don't understand, sometimes we gotta hit lit, no, we ain't hit lit. Tryna get the long way, yeah. Tryna get this shit the long way, yeah. Coach is tryna wrap up a entree. Yeah, told you the other day that did my phone strong. We gon' shoot the long way, we gon' get the long way, yeah. Yeah, get the shit the long way. My bitch be trippin' back and forth like a phone way. My name is Tari, I ain't playing games, so I'm done Tari. Yesterday she told me that she bout to leave, man. Said fuck it, bitch, we gonna get some money. Said fuck it, bitch, I'm about to get some money. So what I do today, I want to get some money, yeah. We gon' get this shit the long way, we gon' get shit the long way, yeah. Back and forth like the pong way, yeah. Man, I'ma get this shit the long way, get this shit the long way. Just the only way today, because they go with shit's crazy. You gotta wear a mask, we the new slaves, and we be wearing this shit like every day. We be okay, we gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, they gon' be okay for me, yeah. So we gon' get this shit the long way, 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 yeah, we get shit the long way, yeah, cause we gon' be okay, we gon' be okay, yeah, we gon' get the long way, yeah.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to another edition of Savings Minus Debt. My name is LJ, the founder of SMD. Just to make sure of the separation, I am LJ and I am part of SMD. SMD is a family, okay? Because once you understand how it works and you understand what SMD talks about, and I want you to make sure you guys understand this, okay? SMD is a mathematical fact. Okay, let's just make sure that's clear. This is not my my theory or my side of things and my opinion and all that other stuff. No, SMD is a mathematical fact. Period. Okay. All right. So if you're new to the channel, my name's, like I said, LJ, and I am here to share my gift. And my gift is that I have figured out that capitalism is psychological. So I call it psychological capitalism. And remember what I'm saying. What I'm saying right now is a mathematical fact. Okay. So that means I'm not wrong. There's no misunderstanding what I'm talking about. That is a fact. But with that gift, I also understand that it must be that way. The majority of you must not understand a word that is coming out of my mouth. None of it. Even though, listen, this is why it's a gift. Even though the words that I'm speaking and the math that I'm using is English, and everything I'm saying can be verified on your calculator, and you still won't believe me. And but that's okay, because the majority must be that way. Do you understand? It's a catch-22. I don't really know how to explain that part, but by understanding that capitalism is psychological, I just I understand that, like debt slaves, you guys, the majority must be in debt, and there must be people that know. Period. That's how it works. All right. And it's all the choice. You either trust the calculator or you don't. It's your choice of which side of. If you ever want to understand psychological capitalism, you got to understand that in order to ever understand what I'm saying, you must first own yourself. Okay. And you probably wondering, well, what do you mean by own yourself? Okay. Credit reports are owner ledgers. Okay. Log into your online credit report, go past the credit score, go into the credit report. See all the businesses listed from whoever down all the way down to collection. Those are all businesses. They all own you. Until they get their money back, they own you. So that means you never own yourself. You can never own yourself until they get the money back. Until you do that, that's the only way you're going to know what I'm talking about. That's the only way. Okay. There is no way around it. The price of admission, you must own yourself. Doesn't matter if you believe what I'm saying. Everything I'm saying is a mathematical fact. Okay. I want to make sure that is clear. This is not a theory. This is not a hypothesis. This is clear. What I speak is mathematical facts. What I speak are mathematical facts. So first of all, I wanted to apologize to Dr. Dunbar about our thing that we're supposed to have on Wednesday. And I was listening. I clicked over there on the video, and he's kind of telling everybody what happened or whatever, right? That I canceled in the last minute, which is true. Okay, no, but he said, he was mentioning how I feel about time, the value of time. So hearing him say that, okay, for me to cancel on him to waste another man's time, it had to be the utmost urgency. It had to be. There is no other anything. This had to be in an urgent situation, which it was. Okay. But I'm all right. Nothing happened to me. It was just a particular situation that was needed some personal urgency. That's all. Okay. So and you guys have never seen me do that before. So you guys knew that was just like, oh, whoa, that he's never done that. What the hell? So you knew it was just not my character. So naturally you probably think something was wrong with me physically or something, but it was something of urgent. So I'm gonna reschedule with him. And I'm sure it'll go well because this has never happened before. And it's a fluke. The certain things happen, right? But I'm glad he understood that he knows how I look at the value of time. And knowing this, once you own yourself, like I was in debt all my life. I didn't know anything about owning myself until I did. And once I did, now I'm like, oh shit, the whole thing is psychological. Yes, the whole thing's psychological. You guys don't own anything. You guys have not you guys think you could buy things with no money. And remember, everything I could prove to you is on the I could prove it to you on the calculator. It's not a big deal. Whether you believe it or not. But I want to make something clear. Okay. What I do, I don't want you to think I'm a Dave Ramsey, because I see myself getting compared to say, oh, he's the black Dave Ramsey. No, no, this is much bigger than that. I help you own yourself. This is not even, I'm not even in the same genre as Dave Ramsey. Do you understand me? I'm doing something. I'm doing something that has never been done before. Not never. It has never been done. Everything I do, I want you guys to follow it. Everything I do, you got to wonder, why is he the only one on YouTube talking about this? Why is he the only one that would ever show his entire credit report for the world to see publicly? Why would he do that? And why is he the only one? I keep showing you guys. I just keep showing you. It's like, hey, look, look, look. Why am I the only one doing that? Because I know something they don't. Period. Capitalism is psychological. Now, when I first went down this road, oh, I knew it was going to be a rough road. I knew it was. But guess what? There is no bigger challenge in my life right now. There is no bigger challenge than this one right now. Throughout my career, I was always looking for bigger challenges. I was needing something more to challenge me at work. So I got my college degree. I didn't understand computers. So I said, let me decide to understand. Okay, now I understand computers. Let's understand networking. All right, I understand network. All right, then we go on to virtualization. That's kept going higher and higher. And then it got to a point that there was nothing else that I could learn in IT that was going to challenge me. Then I got out of debt and I was like, whoa, hey, I own myself. You sure do. You see what credit reports really are? Yeah, they're owner ledgers. That's all they are. They're nothing. Those see those that's it's like somebody stand there and say, you see those credit scores they be harping and jumping all over wanting to get high? Yeah, those are reward points for staying in debt. They're earning more points so they can get deeper in debt at a better interest rate. They don't even know what they're doing. No, they don't. That's why those are owner ledgers. That's clear. Now, if I didn't own myself, there is no way in a million years would have I known that credit reports are owner ledgers. I would have never known that ever. It's so funny. Now you look back at the same credit report, you're like, damn, what? Yep. Yeah. Yes. And then when you turn back and look at you look at taxes, you've been told taxes are bad all your life. And then when you get out of debt and you're on yourself and you turn around and look at tax, you're like, oh shit, snap. All you had to do was follow the rules. Yeah, that's all you had to do. Just follow the rules. They're clearly posted on the IRS website. Hey, if you do this business, you do this, and you contribute. Because okay, let me. I'm a long story short. Okay, I'm gonna do my best to tell you, debt slaves, how it is, so you can understand the purpose of taxes. Okay. Now, in capitalism, you can. This is the wonderful thing about our economy. You can come up with an idea and charge as much as you want for it. You say, "Hey, I've created something of value, and I think it's worth $1,000." That's what you could say. And lovely capitalism says, "Hey, you could charge whatever you want. Okay, whatever you believe you can get the price of your product for. Okay, all right. You like cool, cool. So say like it's $1,000, and then the IRS says, "Hey, by the way, when you sell that 1,000, we want you to add this. I'm gonna just say 10% tax on top of it. Okay, this is just numbers. All right. We want to make sure you add this 10% on top of your 1,000. So when they buy that product, you charge $1,010 or $1,100 or whatever the 10% price, right? $100, right? You say, and then when you collect it from them, you pass it to us. You keep your 1,000. But that 10%, you give it to us. You pass it to us. So you're not really paying taxes. You're passing them because you're not paying them. The debt slave is paying it. They're paying for your product and they're paying the taxes on top of it. You're just supposed to pass them. So when you're in business and you say you do your taxes all fucked up and you don't pay what you're supposed to pay, you think you're going to keep the price of your product and the taxes on top of it that's not even yours? You get all the money. You're just going to keep it all. No. But once you own yourself, it's crystal clear. Here, let me give you an example so you guys can understand. And hey, listen, this is mathematical facts I'm telling you, okay? Don't think it's some theory. If I was to walk into a bank and apply for a loan and they ran my credit, they would run my credit and clearly see nobody owns me. Nobody. At 52, they'll run my credit and say, "Whoa, we've never seen that before." Probably, well, I'm not gonna say before, but very rarely. Immediately they're going to know that I know that capitalism is psychological because they're going to know right away. When I do my taxes and stuff now, you guys don't really get it. Maybe you'll get it, maybe you won't, right? But when you understand the true purpose of taxes, then you're like, oh, all I got to do is follow all the rules. Just follow the rules. That's it. Once they see somebody doing that, they're going to know that person knows that capitalism is psychological. They're going to immediately know because people don't do that. One look at your personal credit report tells tells them everything they need to know about you, the business of you, how you treat the business of you financially speaking, how you treat the business of you. Now again, if you've never owned yourself, you have no idea what I'm talking about. To you, it probably sounds like some theory or something, even though I'm mathematically proving it to be true. That's what's wonderful about it. It's all a choice. All a choice. You either trust the calculator or you don't. You're probably thinking, well, look at all these millions of people with mortgages that believe they're homeowners. Yeah, so what? If you ever catch yourself saying that, well, what about all the people that have mortgages and believe that, and they say they're homeowners and they have equity? Then you turn to yourself and say, is it mathematically true what all those people are saying? No, then who cares what they're saying and thinking and believing what equity is? They don't know what equity it is. Their slaves don't know. They are the equity in a mortgage. You are the equity. What are you talking about? Would you psychological capitalism? There's no way I would have known that if I didn't get out of debt and own myself. Even when, and let me make sure this is clear too. If it wasn't for Dave Ramsey, I probably would have been either in the debt matrix longer than what I was, or took longer to get out. I don't know. But if it wasn't for Mr. Ramsey, that was just straight up, hey, he didn't care what you thought. I was like, this guy just doesn't care what people think. I mean, and it's power. You guys don't really understand because what it is the power of math. That's what makes it. That's what makes a person sound like Ramsey. He understands that math is on his side. So if you guys don't agree with what he's saying, you're wrong because math is right. Math is always right. So when you hear him and then when you hear me talk, that's why it sounds so confident and strong because math is never wrong. So if you disagree with it, that's your problem. What's up, Malika? Cupcakes? I'm here to do something. Listen, I'm about to do something that has never been done before. Do you understand me? You're probably thinking, well, how does he know that? How's he know that? You know how I know that? Trillions of dollars in mortgage loan debt. That's how I know that. Trillions in mortgage loan debt. 99% of those people think they're homeowners, and it's trillions. Rental properties, all these videos talk about fucking cash flow and all this shit. You ain't cashing nothing. You're putting cash in the bank. That's all you're doing. Bank is making money because you can't own nothing with no money of your own. You can't do that. You got all these videos talking about, hey man, get over on the banks and hey, trick them doing this way. You guys have no idea what you're saying. None, zero. They're just laughing at you because you guys are debt slaves. You guys live in the debt matrix. No, listen, no currency exists for you guys. None. Zero. Money, not the money in your pocket, not the change in your ashtray, in your car, in your cup holder. See that change in there? It doesn't even exist for you. Now I know it's hard for you to grasp, but you're like, what are you talking about? You know why you'll never know what I'm talking about? Because you have never owned yourself. That's why. That's why. Now remember, this is not a theory. Everything I speak are mathematical facts. Okay, remember that. Don't ever forget that. There is nobody on YouTube like me. Nobody. Do you understand me? Do you understand me? Nobody. Prove me otherwise. Anybody, go find somebody like me. Go find somebody like me. You can't. All I had to do was own myself. That is it. Now I didn't own myself until I was in my 40s. I got all the way up to my 40s, never knowing I had to own myself first. Never, nobody came along, no family members, no people at work. Most definitely not going to get people at work because the majority of people at work have to be there because they have to work. They're dead slaves. They have to be there. You guys go to work sharing information with each other. You guys have to be there. You guys are just sharing debt information. You guys don't know you're sharing information with no, all you got. You never take financial information from anybody that does not own themselves. Do not ever. Anybody trying to give you some financial tips, information. I don't care if they got a degree in finance, anything. You turn to them and say, "Do you got student loan debt?" Yeah. How long you had it? 20 years? And you trying to give me financial advice? Hell no, I ain't taking no financial advice from you. You are a debt slave. You guys think it has something to do with, listen, you guys think it has something to do with what college they went to, their family, what area they grew up, all this. All you got to do is take a look at their personal credit report. That's all you got to do. Hey, yeah, can I see a personal credit report? Well, this guy on LJ, right? He's on YouTube, and he made a video. Okay, he made a video of himself logging into his Credit Karma account, showing the world his credit. And for you guys listening, that means I own myself. Okay, when you guys see no companies in there that own me, that means I own me. That right there, what you guys are witnessing when you watch that video, that right there, you're witnessing something that you're never going to see ever anywhere. Do you understand me? You'll never see that anywhere. Nobody's ever going to show you that. They're never going to show you that. Okay. That's my passport. That passport says, I own me. All currency exists for me, debt slaves, all of it. Cryptocurrency, you name it, whatever you guys make up. It's real for me, and it's real for people like me. All we do is watch you. It's damn near like seeing in the financial future. You just pay attention to you. See what you guys do. Hey, housing prices is going up and this and that, and you better get in now. The interest rates are down up to 5%. You guys talking all this. All you got to do is log into your account and see how much money you got in your bank account. Is it enough? But is it enough money to buy a house in cash? Yeah. Then don't worry about what the housing market's doing, because it's none of your business. You ain't got no money to buy no house anyway. What are you talking about? You're worried about the housing market, but you ain't got no money to buy a house. You guys have no idea. Listen, and listen, this is important. Okay, this is very important. I don't know how to explain this part to you, but even with the majority of people, you are getting your information from people that do not own themselves, your financial information too. You're getting your financial information from people that don't even own themselves, and better yet, don't even know they don't own themselves. They don't even know it. Hey, they come to you. Hey, look at my financial portfolio. Damn near everything in it is a bank owned asset, and they think they own it. And listen, it's in their financial portfolio. They don't know they are the financial portfolio, not the. You know how long? Listen, you know how long that must have taken to get debt slaves to believe that. And I'm a smart dude, okay? Because they ain't really got nothing to do with college smarts, color of your skin. It really ain't got nothing to do with that. I promise you that. Busy blaming everybody around you and politicians. They're the reason I'm broke. Hey, this is why I ain't got no money. It's because of them. All you gotta do is look in the mirror. That's all you gotta do. Stop looking at them. Go to the mirror and say, it's you. Log into your credit report. Go past the credit score and go down to it and see all those businesses. That's why you are where you're at, because they own you. Until you pay them back, you ain't doing nothing. You can't own nothing. You can't buy no property, can't buy no rental, you can't create no cash flow. All this stuff that you guys are getting your financial information from people that don't even own themselves. All you gotta do is say, hey man, can I see your personal credit report? See, first of all, see how many. First, you got to work up the balls to even say that to somebody. Hey, man, I need to see your personal credit report. Why? I want to see if it looks just like mine. Maybe you're just a little bit polished on it. Maybe you got a lot more fake shit than I do, and you make it look like you're better than me. But when you see each other's credit report, you be like, damn, you're just like me, but deeper. You guys, most of you guys be getting your financial information from people that are in deeper debt than you, but it doesn't look like that from the outside because they can afford bigger payments. They're all listen, they're all making monthly payments, but since their cars are nicer, they just have bigger monthly payments than you. It's still payments. Anybody you impressed of, you go, hey man, their car is just all you gotta do is say, hey man, are you making payments? If they say yes, who cares what the car is? Who cares? The car, if they're making payments, the car owns them, not vice versa. The car owns them for 84 months. That car ties that person to their job, at least for 84 months, ties them to their job. So like like a now you can't go nowhere. If your boss is treating you like shit, you gotta people be taking that shit because of the car that they got outside. Can you imagine that? You at a place that you hate working, and you accepting all the bullshit that comes with it. They making you work through your breaks, means work for free. I want you guys to understand something. If you got a job that be making you work through lunch, I want you to understand you are working for completely free when you do that. That means that's physical slavery. Physical slavery. In your face. In your face. When you understand no, when you own yourself, time is it always has been, okay? It never has not been. But time is the most valuable thing on earth. It's time. You don't know that when you're in debt because you don't own yours. When you're in debt, you don't own the time. You don't own the time in your life. That's why it's not a big deal. That's why you think it's cool to get triple time and a half on a holiday that you rather be spending with your family. Guess what? That moment's gone forever. When you miss that Christmas or that birthday, and you say, "Hey, I'll make it up later." You can't. Which you got a time machine? You got a time machine you can go back in time? We don't know about. Because once that moment's gone, it's gone forever. And you spent it at work for some worthless green pieces of paper. Now, I'm not, hey, that's just I want you to and I want to make sure it's clear. The system is just there. Okay? It's just there. I don't feel any way about it. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's bad. I think it's just there. Okay? It says, "Hey, if you want to be on the good side of this, all you got to do is trust the calculator. If you don't, then don't." It's totally up to you. Totally up to you. And I wouldn't have known that unless I own myself. Now that I own myself, my whole entire world changes. And then when I go back and look at movies like Limitless, like that movie Limitless, right? And dude takes a pill and he sees all this stuff. That's pretty close. I ain't gonna lie, that movie, whoever wrote that movie, they got really close. They got really, really because it's a psychological thing. So they're trying to show you something that's only psychological. They're trying to show you physical in the movie. So you get a idea of an imagination of it in your mind. It's almost like that. Put it this way, okay? Once you understand, you say, "Oh, economic classes, they don't exist, right? Upper class, middle class, lower, they don't those classes don't exist. They don't the stock market, that doesn't cryptocurrency sure the fuck don't exist. Stock market, not even there. I mean, okay, it's there. Okay, let me see. I could let me see. I could say this. Hmm. Okay, put it. Okay, this one I'm gonna try to do it. The only way I can show you guys because it's the psychological thing. I can show you mathematically. Okay, say like you had $5,000 to invest in the stock market. Okay, but you have $100,000 in student loan debt. Okay, now if you open up your calculator and put in 5,000 minus 100,000, the calculator is going to clearly show you that it says negative 95,000. Okay. It says, but if you don't believe the calculator and you take the 5,000 anyway and go invest it in the stock market doesn't exist for you because you are the stock market. You are the stock in the stock market because you believe you can invest in the stock market with no money, because the calculator said, hey, you have no money, but you say, yes, I do. And you go do it. That makes you the stock. So the stock market exists, but not in the way you think it exists, because you think you can invest with no money, that you can't invest with negative dollars. So that makes you the stock. Well, in the bigger thing, okay, the bigger thing it is, this is what it really is, okay? Currency doesn't exist for debt slaves. I understand it. Totally cool with that. I get it. Because you guys are the currency. Okay. That's why no currency exists for you, because it's you. So all the stuff that you guys are doing and sharing, you guys are doing it in negative land. Okay. You guys are doing it in negative land where things don't exist. Now, I understand that it's supposed to be that way. You guys are supposed to do stuff like that. You guys are supposed to think you're homeowners. You think that's the only way to get a car, whatever. I get it. I totally get it, because you guys are choosing that. You're choosing to not trust the calculator. That's your choice. And that's the wonderful thing about it. It was I don't blame anybody for me being in I don't blame nobody for me keeping my student loans for 10 years. It was nobody's fault. It was mine. Credit card debt, housing, bloggity blah. That was all me. Once I accepted that and then I paid all the stuff off, then I got out. Now I'm free. Now I understand. Oh, got it. It was all a choice. Yep. I just kept it's like when you're in when you're in the debt matrix, hey, the rich are bad, wealthy are evil, and this and that. No, listen. They understand capitalism is psychological. They're not holding, there's so much listen. Nobody's holding you back but you. People that understand how it really works, all of this, when you really understand, none of this works without people. People are the only species that consume unnecessarily. So economies can only work with people that know and people that don't know. The majority must not know. I mean, not must not know. And even in saying that, well, yeah, it has to be that way. I don't know. I didn't design it. I just discovered it. That's it. I get it. And then again, when you understand, then there's a new set of rules, but not rules like what you guys think, because these are like, to get here, uh they're obvious rules or something. I don't That's the best way I can describe it. Like, no cheating people, no ripping people off, and scamming them, cheating on your taxes, pretending you got pretending you don't have some money that you made and you're not telling, you're not reporting, and stuff like that. You don't because you don't need to do that kind of stuff. And like I said, the passport to navigate to reach other people that understand what I'm talking about is my credit report. Because number one, debt slaves, you guys don't know that, what I just said. And even when I say this out loud, you guys don't know that. But anyway, what it says is that since there's no businesses on there, that means I own myself. That cannot be faked. Okay, that cannot be faked. First, you got to know about it. First you have to know to know that, and then in order to achieve that, you have to put in some work. All legal too. All legally. You got to put in some work. What's up, Nick? Omanike? Mr. Perez says the problem has come from the failure of parents to instruct their kids. Most of the boomer generation failed their kids and just told them to go to college. This is okay. This is what I want you guys to understand something. Okay. I want you to understand capitalism psychological. It has nothing to do with the parents. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. It has nothing to do with the generation, boomer generation. None of that. Because math doesn't care what generation you were born. Math doesn't care what generation, it doesn't care. Math doesn't care how old you are, the color of your skin, how tall you are, short, fat, gay, straight. Math doesn't care. Math doesn't care. 1 plus 1 equals 2. With this information here, you have to the only thing I can say to people is this. First, you have to own yourself. To ever understand that capitalism is psychological. If you don't think you can ever own yourself, like if you're a person that believes you can never pay off your student loan debt, you'll never know what I'm talking about because you can't. That would go against the laws of mathematics for you to do that and to know that. Once you guys really understand that, you'd be like, oh, that stuff is all divert. Yeah, it ain't math don't have nothing to do with color of your skin. Where you grew up, math doesn't care where you grew up. I promise you, parents. I mean, this is this is a rare gift. Okay, don't expect. Listen, I want you guys to clearly understand something. Okay, do not expect this to happen. Come here, get this knowledge, and you're going to take it, and you're going to. No, it does. It doesn't work like that because it's something that is ingrained. It doesn't care if it's your loved ones. It doesn't care if it's your family. It doesn't care if it's your son, daughter. Hey, you come across this information, you try to share it with them. Half of them are going to leave you. And I'm telling you, if you're in a relationship and then one of you guys wakes up and understands the information that I'm providing for free right now, for free, uh, and then it really clicks, and then you go to share it with your partner that you've been with for 10 years and 2 kids, and you try to share it with them and they just not trying to hear it, you're gonna be in some trouble. You're gonna have a big decision to make. I promise you that. I promise you that. Because you're gonna not only are you gonna be out of debt and own yourself, you're gonna understand time is the most valuable thing on earth. Time. And when you and if you're with somebody that is selling the majority of their time to an employer because of a car or because of a house or because of something, 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 you're gonna be like, oh no, oh no, oh no, no. Especially when you really get it, and then you find something, you create something really wonderful, and you start your own business doing something that you love as a person that owns themselves. And then when you create something of value, when the people come across of it, like when they come across this essence, they gonna know this is value forever. This is something that you're never gonna forget ever. You'll never forget me or the SMD family. I promise you that. Promise. Ever. And you realize time is the most valuable thing, and you're like, whoa, and you're selling how many at 60, 70 hours because you're getting that money or oh no, no. And you find out the 40-hour work week is a program after you create something. Oh, you're gonna be like, wait a minute. There are 7 days in a week, and I was given and my employer owned 5 of them for years. For years. 7 days in a week. And your employer owned 5 of them. And that's if you didn't work overtime. Now, when you're in it, you don't know to look at it like that. I had no idea to look at it that way. I'm just like everybody. Oh, hump day Wednesday. Oh, I hate Friday. I hate Mondays. Sunday evening. Got to get ready for work. Just that whole routine over and over. And then you get out, you're like, damn, that was a motherfucking program. Sure was. It was a program. Now, I remember every now and then I would hear somebody in the debt matrix say, "Hey man, that's a program that the rich blah blah blah." You kind of hear that, right? You're like, "Oh yeah," but it's true. Yeah, the rich are the business owners. Of course, that's created by them. So what? Throw away your throw away your Christmas for a few extra bucks? Hell yeah, you do that. While the owners they go and enjoy the family time. Believe that because they know time is the most valuable thing on earth, not money. Hell yeah, I'll pay you time. Hey, how much make you happy? Time and a half on a holiday? Yeah, cool. I'll give it to you. Cause you guys ain't getting that anyway. I'd have never seen that in a million years, man. Mel says, did you see the article on CNBC? Advocates say 10K student loan repayment would be a slap in the face. You know what? Okay. Hypothetically speaking, okay. All right. This is what I see, okay. I highly doubt if it would happen, but hey, why not? This is what I would do. I would I would forgive like if I was the president, I would forgive. This is hypothetically speaking, okay? All right. I would forgive $20,000 in student loan debt, okay? Now, because I need to spark up the economy too, right? At the same time, like, how am I going to do this? We already spent all these other trillions of dollars. How can I do this? Do it, spark up the economy without saying that I gave the money to spark up the economy, but I look good at the same time. So I would say, hey, I'm going to forgive $20,000 in student loan debt. And you know what I'm going to do? To save time, I'm going to mail you guys all checks or transfer it into your bank account and let you guys pay it. Okay, this money I'm forgiving. I'll be like, hey, I'm forgiving $20,000 in student loan debt. I'm gonna mail you guys all the checks and or electronic cash, whatever. Right? You guys are gonna get it, and then we're gonna leave it up to you to pay your student loan debt. That's what I would do. You know how much money would pour into the economy? Can you imagine? Because you know that money's not going to pay off student loan debt. I believe that it's not. They're gonna think they're gonna flip it or turn it, invest in crypto, hey, whatever they believe, whatever, right? And then when they don't do it, and then they still see that all that student loan debt, which the student loan debt will still be there. Okay. And then be like, what? Well, he did President Young did forgive $20,000 in student loans. Yeah, yes, I did. Yes, I did. Oh man, that would be hilarious, man. Oh my God. Oh, you did? Okay, I finally watched Limitless. It was good. I watched it 3 times. It's when you understand capitalism is psychological, and then you go and watch that movie Limitless, you're like, damn, yeah, it looks like that. You look like a genius. You do. It's like, oh, that was pretty close. That was pretty. That was pretty close, man. Pretty close. And that movie's old because I remember even when I watched that movie back then, I used to go, "Damn, man, what if that pill was real?" You just swallow that pill and you just like this. It's pretty much like that because the brain can rewire itself physically. It can. I forgot neuro something. It's called something where the brain can physically rewire itself. That is what has happened, and what has made it easier for that to happen is because it's all mathematically true. So it's easier to accept and believe. Money crypto exists, but it has no real world asset value or utility. The tools, food, and gas. That's how it. Well, the only thing I can say to you is that no currency exists for debt slaves in any form: gold, silver, crypto, assets, equity. None of that exists for debt slaves. They don't know that. Okay, those words that you guys are using, equity and assets and inflation and deflation, those are words. Okay, those are words that each of you guys define those words differently. Let me give you an example. I'm gonna give you an example so you guys can understand what I mean by words. The majority of you guys think you bought a house with a mortgage. Okay. You got, hey, I just bought a house. Hey, I just, but see the word bought, buy, bought, own. See, you guys are using those words, but you guys used a mortgage to get it. That means you didn't have no money to buy. Buy equals cash. There is no other way to buy a house. There is no other way to buy property other than cash. If you go to the bank and get a mortgage or get a loan, that's called financing. They own it because you didn't have the money, so they bought it with their money. Until you pay their money back, that they own it. So that's what I mean by words. So when you guys say equity, hey, I got equity in my house, and you have a mortgage, you don't know that you are the equity because you think you own a house with a mortgage. That goes against the laws of mathematics. You can't do that. A mortgage buys you. Mortgages don't buy houses; they buy people. It's all a choice. Here, let me throw this link out here. Whole time, it's a choice. What's up, the great 23-ish? Long time. What'd you say? I love the end of the movie. I used to talk to my supervisors like that. It would have been bad for me to work under you. I would have made you my bitch. I love it though. Yeah. Oh, the quote. Yeah, yeah, that was funny. That was funny for sure. Oh, I thought you were saying that at first. Okay, no, that's the movie. I love that, and I've always loved that movie. And I was like, what if that was real? And then when you go back and look at when you understand capitalism and psychological, you go back and look at movies like The Matrix, right? The first Matrix, with kind of with all the people in the background, man, they're just walking around while they can't see you, but you can see them, right? It's just like that. when I go to when I go to different YouTube channels and they're telling you about finances and do all this stuff, what you can do, even though you have student loan debt, FHA mortgages, and FHA loan for business houses. You guys don't really understand. Like those are subprime mortgages. Subprime mortgages are for people that don't understand, that refuse to accept that they really don't know. Like if you have a FHA mortgage on your house, you really don't know. Like really, and you're calling yourself a homeowner, you really, really don't know. Really. And you have student loan debt older than your FHA mortgage. And even me saying that, you're trying to compute that in your brain. It's just really tough to accept because you might have been in this house for the last 15 years under an FHA mortgage, probably refinanced 2 or 3 times to get a better interest rate, whatever. Never realized, hey, why is my bank reaching out to me and telling me about this great interest rate if I refinance? Because that's called business, to get you deeper in debt. Start the clock all over again. You ain't going. You guys don't own nothing. And what's so crazy? The whole time you think you're a homeowner. You think you own something. That is just when I when I look at stuff like that today, it commands respect. It commands it. It makes me want to go to Washington D.C. to the Federal Reserve building and stand out in front of it and take a picture in front of it. Ah, I know what this building now means. I know what this building now represents. That's what I say when I look at the Federal Reserve in DC. I say, now I see what that represents. That's why it looks like that. Got it. Okay, I got it. Totally understand. I want to take a That's the only building. Listen, I'm not a person to go out and just take pictures in front of buildings and shit, but that one, I want to go up there. I'm going to. I'm gonna go up there and take a picture in front of it because I have to. Of course, it started in there. Of course. When I was a debt slave, I never I never took the time to understand what the central bank was. I never did. Whatever. What is that? All I cared about was my local bank and how much money was in it or was not in it. Never looked at the central banks to understand it. Never once. Just like, hey, why is it there? People can't. You go. I used to think dumb shit like, you can't go in there and you can't write a check for something. Oh, that's where they make all the money or whatever. Right? You just understand, debt slaves. You guys are never going in there. You'll never see what's in that building. Probably. I hope to God one day I do. I ain't gonna lie. I really hope that somebody there will hear my videos and understand that I understand. Okay, he knows, he owns himself, he can prove it. We can just hear by the way he's speaking. He obviously understands, and then show me. That house is preventing you from paying off your student loans. They fool you with the low interest rates and the deferment plan. They sure do. Student loans that's how they create debt slaves. When you're young, listen, when you're young, you don't know to ask, how come I can file bankruptcy on all this other stuff but not those? You don't know to ask that question. You don't like, hey, why can't I how come I can't file bankruptcy on that? Damn near every other debt I can except IRS debt, penalties, and student loan debt. You can't bankrupt none of that. Okay, we could IRS debt because that's taxes. You can't. What would be the purpose? When you're young, you don't know to ask that question. That's how they create debt slaves by yourself. You created yourself. Whenever there's like what you don't really understand. Whenever there's money that you could just easily obtain, just make up some shit, go take any classes and whatever, and they pay you and give you some overpay for living expenses, whatever, and it's just freely flowing to you. Got to stop and say, hey, why is this money coming to me so quickly? Then they send you extra. Oh, we're gonna just round it up, and here's the extra. You're like, whoa, wow, okay, cool. All my other stuff is paid for. This is just mine. Sure is. It's yours. Here you go. Young people don't know to ask. Say, hey, nobody's ever given me money like this before in my life, but these guys are. You sure are. For the rest of your life, if you choose it. The only way to get out of student loan debt, guess what? You got to go work and you got to go pay it off. That's the only way you're getting out of it. If not, you're going to be a slave until you're dead. I hope you're ready to accept that. Because when you understand time is the most valuable thing on earth, oh yeah, everything is. You look at everything totally different, totally different. Like when you're young and you want that fast money, and you say, "Hey man, if I sell some cocaine or something, I get some fast money." You got to stop and say, "Okay, if I go sell this $100 worth of cocaine and get caught, it says here in the book in this state I can get 10 years in prison." That's a sign to say, "Oh no, I'm not gonna." You're gonna because you got to remember they make say like it's a $100 deal, and this person was supposed to give you $100 bill. You go on the government's website and say, "How much did it cost to make that $100 bill?" You're gonna see it's like 17 cents. Okay, 17 cents. And if you go to try to sell these illegal drugs and get caught by the police for that $100 bill for 17 cents, now you're gonna go to prison for 10 years. You traded something of less value of something that's more value, which is the time in your life, because you get 10 years, you're never getting that back ever. It doesn't matter how much work you get, how much money you make, what kind of successful business you get. The 10 years is gone. When you understand that, you're like, oh hell no, I ain't doing none of that. No. Nope. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Hey, if you get caught trying to copy this money, you're gonna go to prison for 10 years. To copy, listen, copy go to 10 years for trying to copy a 17-cent piece of paper. Oh no, I ain't doing none of that. Thank you. The rules and the laws are crystal clear. Understood. Won't be doing none of that. I'm not giving up 10 years of my life for 17 cents. Hell motherfucking no. No. When you're young, you don't know that because you're young. Because when you're young, you don't know, like, hey, whoa, wait a minute. I'm new to earth. When you're young, you don't know that you're it was so crazy. I mean, you just it's a psychological thing. You don't understand that you are brand new to earth. Brand spanking new. Now, in your defense, when you're young, you don't know how to look for people like me. Okay. You're so bombarded with people and credit and buy this and this is how you do it and fashion and gossip and this and all this racist and generation X and you don't know you're growing up and hey, where do I fit? Okay, I think I'm a Republican now. Oh no, I like the Democrats. Okay, I'm on this side. I grew up here, so I'm supposed to be this way. Oh, they said I'm supposed to be like act like that because I'm this color. I'm supposed to be. That's all that confusion. You don't know. You're just young. You're just following the shit. I'm just here to tell you, you don't have to do none of that. No, you don't have to follow. It doesn't matter what they say. As long as you taking care of yourself and you're not breaking any laws or hurting any other human beings in the process. Hey, who cares what everybody else says? Doesn't matter. Look how many people listen to me and talk about hey he's crazy whatever. It doesn't matter what they say. Listen, you guys, it doesn't matter what they say. When you hear people disagree with me, they're not disagreeing with me, they're disagreeing with mathematics. They just don't know they're disagreeing with mathematics. You know why? Because they don't own themselves. They don't know you can't cash flow from a mortgaged house. They don't know that. They obviously don't know that. You don't you don't have the money to buy the house, but if you get a mortgage, now you're cash flowing. That doesn't but you don't have the listen. They don't have the cash to buy the house. Okay, they finance it and then do whatever they say they're gonna do, and now they're cash flowing. What are you talking about? You're not cash flowing nothing but the bank's pockets. You guys, what's so crazy, man? You guys think you're doing something too. When you go apply for loans, they're gonna run your credit, and then they're gonna see you got a ton of owners inside your credit report that you don't own shit. And then you guys think you're doing something. Oh, we're getting the bank ain't getting no money from me. You went to them. You think you're gonna go to them and they're not gonna get nothing from you? Come on, man. You cannot think like that. You guys gonna go borrow money from the bank, but you're gonna get over on them. That doesn't make any sense. Soon as they run your credit, they're gonna know everything about you. That's why that's why that's the first thing. That's why, but you guys don't do it personally. Because you guys don't realize your personal credit report is your blueprint of the business of you. That's why when you guys hear me say, "Hey man, don't trust nobody unless you see their personal credit report," because that's the bit I need to know how they treat the business of themselves. Does that person own himself? Do they if, are they if this person wanting to get in business with me, do they own the business of themselves? I'm not going into business that somebody that doesn't own themselves. You think they're going to treat your business better than themselves? They're not. They're treating the business of themselves bad, and you believe they're going to treat the business outside themselves better than themselves. They're not. You see somebody like that, you say, "Hey, let me see your personal credit report," and you see they're in a shitload of debt. That person has no idea the value of time. None. Their credit report shows your credit report shows if you know the value of time or not. How? Because if you own yourself or not. If you don't own yourself and you think you're cash flowing and you're coming up or whatever, whatever, you don't even own you. You think you own something outside of you without owning you first? That goes against the laws of mathematics. I thought student loans were the best thing ever. How I was wrong. Had it for 18 years. It's gone. I thought this. Luckily, thank God, I really went to. I went to college later. I think I went to college in my 30s, early 30s. I'm glad I was more mature about it. I really was. I was really thinking because even when I was young, thank God I was because I was like this. Okay, I always listen. Oh man, I can't really explain that. But I remember when I got out of high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. You got all these people telling you, hey, you got to go to college, or you ain't gonna be shit if you ain't gonna be nobody. You ain't gonna be considered smart or whatever. I used to go, yeah, yeah, but damn, college costs a lot of money. I said to myself, no, I'm gonna just go ahead and get me a job. All right, I'm gonna just go get me a job because I knew I was a good whatever I applied myself, I was always good at, and I always moved up in ranks. That always happened for me quickly because I always applied myself to make sure I wasn't just like the regular workers. But I just started working, man. I didn't go to college right away. Thank God I didn't. I felt bad about it because when you're young and you got your friends coming back from college, now they got college degrees, and you think because you didn't go, you feel dumb. But no, there's nobody to tell you right there and say, hey, well, wait a minute. Ask them how much student loan debt they have right now and when are they going to pay it back? You don't have that. Nobody's there to say that. You don't have you don't have $50,000 of student loan debt either. They do. Nobody's there to tell a young person that. Young people don't know. They don't know to say, turn to their parents and say, hey, mom, dad, do you still have student loan debt? That would mean your student loan debt's older than me. They don't know to ask that question. Man, I'm so glad I didn't do that. The pressure, man, the pressure. I mean, it's all over TV. You're seeing your friends, hey, I got accepted in here. You see all these commercials, and it's all part of the program because college is a business. Okay, I'm not saying anything bad about it. Okay, I don't care how much they charge. I don't care how much the dean makes. Whatever, $1 million. It's like even when I was in the debt matrix, I would see a college, and then I see a dean making $1.7 million. I was like, what? 1.7. You know what that says? That's how much money we're making. We're making so much money. We can pay the dean 1.7 million. We're making that much money. That's what that says. Like when you look at, I know this, I went off a little bit, but this is how I look at it. So I look at the NFL, right? And you see one player get almost a $500 million. You know what I say? How much money are you making if you can pay one player that? That's just one player on the team, though. That's just one. I say, how much are you making? How much are the owners making if you could pay one player that? You look at Walmart. They got multiple stores in multiple states, and not just regular stores, not just regular stores. When you own yourself and you understand time and you take a look at that, you're like, God damn. Ooh. You know how long it would take when you wake it counts on what age you are, and you wake up and say like you're trying to get into the same business as Walmart, right? And you wake up and you own yourself, but you young, you're like, "Oh shit, I got some work to do. I got some work to do." But you got to listen. That's why here's Jeff Bezos. He came along and said, "I'm gonna go this way." So now he didn't have to compete with that. He went another direction. Now he's virtual, right? Now here's Elon Musk. He's like, hey, I'm gonna provide internet to anybody in the world. While the people here, we're stuck with internet from our local cable company, our local our local carrier. You better believe like cell phone carriers, they're worried. Okay, they're worried, they're real worried. Believe that. Because you get a Tesla phone, that's gonna be global. You better believe that is gonna be global. That's gonna be a global phone. No restrictions anywhere. Anywhere you go, listen. Can you imagine? Listen, anywhere you go, guaranteed to work. No matter how rural of an area you live, way out in the Timbuktu, it won't matter with a global phone. Just like his internet. They're worried. Believe that. You think those car manufacturers, they wanted to put out all them those electric cars? No. Elon Musk made them do it. He said, "Hey, man, I don't feel like waiting on you guys. We're gonna do it now. That's what we're doing now." He almost went broke, and that's what you guys don't really get. When you can see it, when you can see your vision, all chips are in. Everything's in. I'm all in. Just like if you're at a craps game, all in, all in. Because you know what the other option is? Stay back with you guys. Hell no. Go back into the 40-hour work week program? No, that's prison. Believe in Saturday and Sundays are special and all this other stuff? No, none of that. Those are just days of the week. When you own yourself, you can say, hey, this week I want every day to be Saturday. And voila, it's Saturday. Every day Saturday. That's what you can do. Because it's all psychological, all of it. Well, he says high school diploma, and when I had my own business, half of my staff had masters. Y'all want to rely on that degree? Go ahead. Exactly. It's all business, though. It's all business. You need a college degree to get a good job, to get the hey, then the jobs that hey, we require. Listen, it's just all connected, and it's nothing personal. Okay, it's just business. Hey, in order for you to get this job, you have to have a bachelor's and blah blah blah. What do you think that connects to? That connects. You got to go to college. Okay, then you guys ain't got no money. Listen, debt slaves, you guys have no money. Okay. Currency doesn't exist for you because you are the currency, right? So by the time you go to college, of course you're going to have to use student loans because you have no money. And then if you've been shown all your life that you ain't going to be shit without a college degree, of course you're going to do it. Of course. Of course. All you got, all you have to do is this is all you had to do. Like when people try to shove college down your throat and basically say you ain't gonna be shit without college, all you have to do is look in the mirror and say, yes, I will be. Yes, I will. They're projecting themselves. They're saying when you hear somebody say, you ain't gonna be shit without a college degree, they're saying to themselves, I feel if I didn't have a college degree, I wouldn't be shit. That's what they're really saying because what you say to yourself applies to you. So if you still believe you'll be successful, you just say that. I'm gonna still be successful. You just say that to yourself. You don't have to believe. All you got to do, I'm telling you, okay? Listen, the majority of you guys' information and opinions that people are giving you, they're from people that don't own themselves, aka debt slaves. Who cares if a debt slave has a college degree? They're a debt slave with a college degree. Who cares? Who cares if they're a doctor driving a Mercedes Benz? That's a debt slave who's a doctor who's driving a Mercedes Benz. That's it. Who cares if they live in Beverly Hills, California? Who cares? They're just a debt slave paying a bigger mortgage than yours who has student loan debt. Who cares? You got excuse me. You guys better stop believing that wealthy people live in certain areas. Hey, that area is over there. That's for the rich people. You don't know that. You don't know that. There's people out here making really, 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 really big mortgage payments. Okay, because maybe they have a successful business and they decided to finance a bigger home, which you guys always do. It really doesn't matter your income because you guys do the same thing. You create you get some more money, you get a raise or whatever. You say, hey, I got a raise. I'm gonna go get a bigger house, and you guys go to get a bigger mortgage. Same thing for a business too. You guys create a successful business, start bringing in money. You'd be like, oh, we need a bigger house, and then you go finance a bigger house, making a bigger mortgage payment. Think you're moving up. You didn't move anywhere, but deeper in debt. The bank knows that, but you don't because you don't own yourself. If you walk in the bank talking about you're a homeowner and they know they're the holders of your mortgage, they'll know immediately that you don't know. If you're a homeowner, why are you here in the bank? Then I mean they're not gonna ever say that. I'm just saying you should say that to yourself in the mirror. If I'm a homeowner, why am I here at the bank? What do they got to do with it? Nothing. I mean, they got something to do with it because you came to them. You guys better stop thinking that money looks like something. Can I see your credit report? You guys don't know to ask each other. You guys have no problem giving it to the businesses because you want credit, right? Because you want money, so you don't really think twice about it. But you guys don't do that with each other. You guys have no idea how many questions that would, especially if you're in a relationship right now. Say it like this. Say it like you're with somebody right now, and you just have no idea what they're doing with the money. Bills coming up short. Oh, I had to borrow, always got to borrow some money, getting some gas money, but they're working 40, 50 hours a week. All you got to do is say, hey, I need to see your personal credit report. Now, remember, this is a person that you love, who you're with. You might have kids with them. You guys been together for 10, 15 years. You've never asked that question. Hey, can I see? They can, if this is the love of your life, they should not get mad. What do you want to see that for? What do you mean? Aren't we fucking? Yeah, how long we been together? We got 2 kids in the room, right? Yeah. What's the problem with me seeing your personal credit report? It'll answer a lot of your questions. It sure will. All those questions. I can't figure out what they're doing with the money. What's it just be, man, it comes up, you don't have gas money, then I gotta, and then you find out where'd that credit card come from? I never saw that credit card before. Open up credit cards, not telling you all that. All you got to let me see a personal credit report. I couldn't even imagine being with somebody that would open up credit cards without telling me. Ooh, we hell no. Because when it's time to get a divorce, you think you're gonna walk in and say, "Hey, judge, uh, they opened the credit cards behind my back." Hey, who cares? Were you guys married? Yeah, that's you guys' dad. You should have been you should have been paying more close attention to the person you married. Now, in your defense, when I got married, never once did that come up in a conversation. Can I see a personal credit report? Never once had that. And I married a person like that. I'm actually legally, listen, you guys, and this, you guys don't know this, okay? You just, oh my God, it's just like, it's like financial suicide. You don't even know. Legally, I couldn't even imagine legally binding myself to a person without asking to see their personal credit report first. Legally bind myself to a person that doesn't own themselves. Oh my God. That would be like, oh my God. That would be so horrible. That would be horrible. Oh, that would be horrible. Then when it don't work out, you're in court and child support court, divorce court. Oh my God. Just lawyers and then those lawyers, the majority of those lawyers and are in debt, in a student loan debt and mortgage debt. So they're out there to get their money and oh my, because they got to pay for all their shit. And so they're charging you as a client. It's just round and round and round. Mm. Ooh. Mm, mm, mm. And you guys be so concentrated on each other. F you, this and that. Because I remember one time, this is when I was in the debt matrix, and this kind of threw me off too. I remember one time I was in court and I was in child support court, right? And I'm on my side with my lawyer. She's on her side with her lawyer. And we're in there for something, child custody, something, whatever, right? And then I remember her lawyer looking over at me like, "Oh, he ain't no good, and this and that, and and she was looking at me with mean faces and everything, right? Now I'm looking at her at the corner of my eye because I'm just looking straight. I really wasn't trying to, but I could see out the corner of my eye she was really animated, and I thought to myself, I was like, she don't even know me. Why is she so emotionally and why is she emotionally? She cannot be. Listen, I was thinking to myself, I could see the ex-wife doing that. But the lawyer, I was like, we're not even emotionally connected. So why would you be doing that's an act to get money. If they get more involved in it with you, it's like, oh, they can't get personal with every goddamn case. I know it feels like that to you, but it's business. And you don't even know if your lawyer is deep in student loan debt, mortgage. Oh my God. Oh man. Mm. I mean, you'd be so wrapped up in your own shit, fighting with the other person while the lawyers are getting paid and the judges are dictating your finances, all because of you. Mm, mm. I laugh at the dating dating coaches. They tell men not to marry, but especially women with student loans, which is true. But they finance cars and phones. And I know when you guys don't even get it. When you guys are out here with these dating coaches, you don't take you don't take advice from a dating coach that doesn't own themselves. You're getting dating advice from a debt slave. When you own yourself, okay, when you own yourself, and then you hear a person like that talking that doesn't own themselves, who cares what they say? They're going to meet the people that are dead that don't own themselves, just like the advice that they're giving you to meet other people that also don't own themselves. Because I guarantee you this, that kind of advice that the majority of dating coaches give you, a person that owns themselves, you're not gonna connect with the person that owns themselves. I guarantee you that. Because you guys don't know. Put it this way. Let me give you an example. You roll up in a nice car, and then you mention that you're making car payments, you're out. You're immediately out. Because if you roll up in the car, whatever it is, it could be a nice Mercedes Benz and it's just clean, clean, clean. And then you mention car payments, you automatically know number one, you're a debt slave. You sold some of your time, you sold some of the time in your life, because that's what you do when you finance cars. You sold some of the time in your life for a fucking car. Not only do you not know, you're proud about it because you're proud to show it. And you're making car payments. And now when you don't know and you're looking at these guys are showing you a picture, a nice car. They make sure they look clean. They make sure they're trimmed. They make sure they got nice clothes, got some nice shoes in the background. They're showing you shopping at expensive places. They're showing you a watch, but all you guys do is say, "Hey, can I see your personal credit report?" Keep all that. Keep all that shiny show stuff. Let me see your personal credit report. Okay. What do you want to see that for? It's going to show me if you own yourself or not. Because if I look on your credit report and your student loans are older than the watch on your wrist, you're a debt slave because you can't buy a watch like that with student loan debt. So you obviously don't know. That's the problem. Those dating coaches never show their personal credit reports, nor would any of them disclose how much debt they're. No, they won't. They won't. I remember I saw this guy on TikTok, clean cut white dude, giving financial advice. And I typed in the comment, I said, "Hey man, I don't take financial advice from any financial person unless I can see their personal credit report." Oh, how dare you? Oh my God, that is so rude. What? Am I talking business to you? What are you talking about? Feelings? Rude? It makes no sense. But when they respond like that, I automatically know that they don't know. Immediately don't know. You got offended on that. What is it not? Because if you know, there's nothing to show. So who cares if you see it? My credit report is blank. It says I own me. That's what that says. They would never do that. Thanks everyone for the likes. I know LJ appreciates. Thank you, Malika. I sure do. Thank you, everybody. Much appreciated. I'd rather date a dude driving a 2012 car he paid in cash versus a man with a 2023 car he's financing. I know. But, like I always say, the majority, in order to understand psychological capitalism, we understand that it must be that way. There must be trillions of dollars in mortgage loan debt, credit card debt. You guys must look to things on the outside of you as the cause of your financial situation. It's got to be due to the outside, well, gas prices, taxes, got to be something. It just cannot be you. It just can't be you. It has to be the president or the vice president. It has to be the Congress. It has to be the senator. It has to be something other than you, huh? All you gotta do, listen. All you gotta do is log into your Credit Karma, and then you'll discover the problem. It's right there. What's your take on the statement that if you're not working at least 60 hours a week, you're lazy? Who said it doesn't really matter? You know, well, you guys understand. I understand that the 40-hour work week is a program, right? So that kind of tells you right there, 60 hours, hey, whatever. That's only debt slaves speak like that, are proud to sell 60 hours of their life to a job. They're proud of it. Hey man, if you ain't working 60, you're lazy. No, that is not true. That is not true. People always say, "Hey, get a job." Well, why? Why do I need to get a job? How come I just can't work for myself? They always say, "Hey, if you ain't doing that, hey man, get a job." Well, why do I have to get a job? I'll just work for myself. How about that? People that work like 60 hours a week or more, they don't know the difference between business debt and personal debt. They obviously don't know. Obviously. They don't know that they don't have to work that many hours. You don't have to you don't. All you got to do is stay out of debt and your whole entire life will change forever. And you just buy everything you want from debt slaves for cheap because you got cash. They don't. They're debt slaves are the currency. It's them. So when they're giving you anything related to your finances, you say, "Let me see your personal credit report. Let me see it." They're gonna say, "Why?" I need to see if you own yourself. LJ showed us his, and it's clear that nobody owns him. We need to see if you own yourself. If you get, I don't want to take, you say it just like this. I know most of you guys won't say it, because it's very difficult for some most. You say, I don't take financial advice from people that don't own themselves. So I need to know if you own yourself. Most of them are not going to show you. They're going to get offended because nobody will have ever asked them that question because they will believe the facade of what they tell them. Because you see all these people that get up and they tell you all these fantastic. You don't know if anything they're saying is true. You don't have no idea. Their credit report will show you if they're telling the truth. If they say like this, say like they're something finance related, right? If it really works the way they said it works, of course they would be using it, correct? Of course, right? So you say, let me see your credit report. And then you find out that they have student loans that are older than their business, but they're making all this money. That doesn't make sense. Because if they were making that much money, they wouldn't have those student loans. Hey, LJ, what's your opinion on Kevin Samuel passing? I hear he was broke. Nah, I don't really get in that kind of stuff. I have no idea. I don't know anything. Th- when you own yourself, this is how I look at everything. Okay, what I saw of Kevin Samuels was Kevin Samuels LLC. I don't know anything past Kevin Samuels LLC. Now, I wasn't a follower of his, but I just want you guys to look at business different because you guys will look at a person, and because you can see him, you'll think it's personal. But what you're looking at was Kevin Samuels LLC. And that's the only person I knew. And like I said, that wasn't my genre. When you own yourself, you don't really take advice from people that say stuff like that because you own yourself. Once you own yourself, you won't be listening to you. You just won't listen to people like that. That's a business. That was a business, and to me, he looked like he was very good at it. I mean, he looked like he knew what he was doing. It looked like it was working to me. What's up, Alonzo? People who work like dogs age fat. They sure do. You better believe it ages you because you got to remember when you work like that, you obviously are deep in debt. And if you're deep in debt, you're stressed. And if you're stressed, you're not getting enough sleep. Because if you're working 60 plus hours a week, guess what? You're not getting sleep. And what's so crazy is this: people don't stop and think like this. Do we have a choice to sleep or not? Do you have a choice? You can't just one day and say, you know what, I'm not going to sleep this week, right? Sleep is not a choice. When you get tired, for some reason you lay down, it's time for you to go to sleep. And this is the only thing that makes sense to me why you need sleep. Okay. And this is what has come to me since I own the time of my life, which makes total sense. The only thing that needs repair for you to be unconscious is your brain. Obviously, your brain can't do what it needs to do if you're up and moving around because you're using it all day. It needs you, it needs, excuse me. Let me get some water. 1 second. It needs you unconscious so it can do what it needs to do. It's almost like think of like when you go to the dentist and they get ready to work on. They say, "Hey, put on these headphones, watch this movie." I think that's what dreams are for. Hey, put on this movie so you could just pay attention to that shit while it does its thing. Now, imagine if you're working 60 plus hours a week, you're not hardly getting any sleep. So you guess what? You're not getting brain repair. When I first got out of debt matrix, I was feeling bad that I was sleeping so much. I was feeling bad. I was feeling lazy. Oh, I'm a bum. No, man, no. That was wonderful. I was staying up late, sleeping into the even 12, 1 o'clock. You tell anybody, oh man, you're lazy. No, no, that shit felt good. Oh, that felt wonderful. Because eventually you're gonna get tired of it, and then you're gonna go out and create. But it was just the residual of being in the debt, man. I'll just sleep through the day, sleep like say like you call in sick on a Monday, right? And everybody else is going to work, but you're home. You hear everybody starting up their cars and warming up their cars, but you're just not going to work that day. It feels good, don't it? Like you could just stay in the bed. It's like that every day. Once you own yourself, every day can be like that. When I first got out the debt matrix, even that was making me feel bad. And I was like, oh man, everybody's going to work. I'm just at home. I'm not even doing nothing. I'm just sleeping. And then I started getting used to it. I was like, whoa, I kind of like this. I kind of no sleep when I'm dead. No, I like sleeping when I'm alive. I'm gonna do that. Love sleeping. Oh, I love my sleep. Love sleep. Debt slave also like to humble brag about how little sleep they get. Oh yeah, that's true. The implication is I only get so little sleep per night because I work so hard. I know they push that. And then when you don't know, you start to believe that. Oh, sleep is for suckers and all this stuff. No, sleep is for people that know that I like my brain to take its time to be repaired. So put it this way: if my brain needs 8 hours to do what it needs to do, I'm gonna give it 8 hours. You know what I even do too? I stop eating like after 8 o'clock because when you eat late, your body still got to digest. It's doing all this work. I'm pretty sure not probably not much, but I bet you that's a little bit of brain power in there that makes that stuff go right. I want my brain to have full energy, what it needs to do what it needs to do, make all these connections that it needs to make. Because sometimes I know when I have enough, I'll wake up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, wake right up and like, okay, well, that's all I need. Maybe I went to bed too early. I don't know. Sure is. Believe that. Love sleeping. Cupcake says, man asked me, what do I bring to the table? I said, I own myself and you. After I elaborated, he quietly disappeared from the chat. Oh man. I'm telling you, man, I love what I do. I ain't gonna lie, I love it, man. And it ain't even blown up yet. Let me tell you something. This is what I love about the most. So when you guys come back and listen to these videos will be valid from the person listening to 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now. Unless they see the date on the video itself, they're not going to know what year this was made, because it's going to always apply. Any debt slave that picks up, it's always going to apply to them because they're always going to be they're always going to be the currency. It has to be that way. So it's always going to apply these videos. So anybody listen to, like, even me now, hey, this is 2022. This is for me in 2025. Okay, I'm just saying that, right? 2000. What is this? About 2025. I think the United States should a good portion of the United States should know who you are by now, at least. But it's a double-edged sword. It's like a lot of people, yes, but not in a way as like millions of people, like, oh, hey, we all know it. No, like that, because it can't be that way, right? A lot of people in a understanding of psychological type of sense. That's what I mean. Okay. That's what I mean by worldwide, United States. I'm not saying millions of people gonna know me like a superstar. I'm saying more people that understand capitalism is psychological getting together and understand, bigger than. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm going to reschedule. I'm gonna reach out to Dr. Dunbar and reschedule that psychological capitalism. I was looking forward to that. Unfortunately that happened, but uh I hope Dr. Dunbar, even speaking that now, Dr. Dunbar's show is going to be the first person that has actually, and this is very important, okay? Dr. Dunbar is going to be the first person to interview me talking about psychological capitalism. Okay, that's going to be a very key thing later down the line, 5 years, 10 years from now. That's going to be very important that he's going to, because I want everybody to understand he is the first person that's going to do it. because it's gonna blow up from here. Okay, but it'll be landmark that he was the first. Any questions before I leave here? Any questions? Pretty rainy day here in South Carolina. It's not looking too nice, but I guess it's gonna come out tomorrow. That's one thing I like about here, man. Sometimes, like in South Carolina, it's a combination of the sun and the greenery. And the key is that when it rains really heavy, right? And it might do it for, hard for a day or mostly at night. Really, really does it at night. But then the next day is sunny. I think that's why it's not brown like California, right? Because it's like a balance of both, which is nice. That's why I love it here a lot. Just a beautiful state coming from Washington State. Anyway, let me put this up here before I go here. Here's my Cash App. My Cash App, for those of you guys listening in the car, my Cash App is savings minus debt, the $ savings, plural, minus debt. All right. Make sure you get that S in there. Savings. I don't want you to have somebody create some other account and you guys send it to the wrong account. So I don't want you to do that. Make sure the spelling's right. Because I don't want people that send me, hey, I sent you some money. You never replied. Oh boy. All right, here's my email, savingsminusdebt@gmail.com. All right. Don't forget to hit that like button on your way out. If you enjoyed the show, please don't forget to subscribe. Much appreciated. But like I said, if you are ready to I always say like this. I say like this. Beam yourself ahead of billions of people with a B, billions, financially speaking, right? Come see me directly and I can create the plan for you. You don't have to, you don't have to try to do it because I know the majority of people that listen to my show, oh, I'm gonna do it on my own. I'm telling you, when you get out and when you realize time is the most valuable thing on earth, and then you're gonna look back and say, God, I should have came to you 2 years sooner, LJ. I knew it. That's what you're gonna say. I promise you that's what you're gonna say to yourself. Catch it now. If you're new to the channel and you just immediately come to see me, you're gonna thank yourself for the rest of your life. What's up, Andre? About to exit down, but thank you for stopping by, sir. Thank you, everybody, for joining. And like I said, I will keep you guys updated when I reach out to Dr. Dunbar to reschedule and then let you guys know when that day will be. But I appreciate you all. Until next time, later.